Good morning, Paul Georgie from Allendale. It's March 14th, 2011. The commodity markets are under pressure here again this morning. Macro selling pretty much across the board. We got the grain markets lower. Livestock markets, of course, haven't opened yet, but cotton market is down, sugar's down, and gold is about the only thing that is showing some strength here this morning. Dollar is lower as well, down 23. Crude oil has bounced back off its lows, however. We still are down 159 as we speak, but that's $1 higher than the low made earlier today. The news, of course, is Japan. How is the market going to react? What's the exports going to be? I mean, there's just a tremendous amount of questions that traders have, we have, of how the markets and what kind of consumption trends, and first of all, how many lives have been lost in this tragedy in Japan. The demand side of the equation is what our traders are looking at, and is Japan going to continue to import corn and wheat? They're the largest importer of U.S. corn and wheat. They import about 1 million tons a month there to fill their feed needs for their livestock. Again, the question is, how bad was the livestock industry damaged because of the tsunami, because of the blackouts? And from what we understand and the information that we're getting so far, there's 2 ports that are damaged that normally would take imports of corn and imports of grain, as far as that goes, that ship to their feed mills that process the feed for their poultry and hog industry. The chicken industry, from what we understand, is closer to the tsunami area, and that could be affected greater than the pork industry. However, with the radio activity or the nuclear plants still basically out of control, is a big concern in how that might impact the livestock industry and the demand from that whole sector of the world. So those are things that traders are worried about, and with the concern on their mind, what happens so many times in the futures industry, you have traders exiting positions, getting back to a neutral position or a manageable position that can be so they can withstand the volatility. I think it still, in the big picture, we still have a problem with tight food supplies, and this just throws a wrench in the mix that gives us and causes us to have a very unclear picture of how this is all going to work out. We've got some fundamental issues that will impact us here over the next couple weeks. We've got the prospective plannings report at the end of the month. Allendale will release their survey on Wednesday at 10 o'clock in a live video webinar, so sign up for that. You can get that information right on our website to get the numbers, and we've surveyed several farmers that throughout the entire Midwest that will give us that information. We've also got a cattle on feed report coming out here on Friday. The big numbers there that will be watched is placements. How many cattle were placed with the high corn prices that we've seen during the month of February. So those numbers are going to impact our markets dramatically here as we go into the spring and as we move forward. The problem is we've got to work through this time of possible liquidation by investors because of this tsunami in Japan. The livestock trade, cattle cutout values were up sharply. We had choice up $2.75 on Friday. Select was up $2.90, so it helps put this packer margins back in the black, and they certainly needed an increase in product values with a a price of 118, 119 that was paid last week in the country. So that, as we move into the new week, we're going to be monitoring that very closely and see what type of value we can get for these cash cattle, since we are in a very tight supply there. Pork cutout values were up 7 cents, so only slightly. The big concern is demand there, and I would expect that we could see cattle and hog futures open lower here this morning, in line with other commodities, and also because of the uncertainty. Japan is the largest buyer of U.S. Pork and beef on a value basis, so it will have an impact on us. And with the rolling blackouts and the energy problems that they have right now, there certainly would seem that they're not going to be in the market for importing a lot of beef and pork. However, that may be the quickest solution to provide food for the people of Japan once this thing settles down here a little bit. So a lot of unanswered questions that we're going to have to deal with here in the next few days. Stay with Allendale. We'll try to get those that type of information to you as quick as we can. You can also follow us on Twitter, so check us out there, or just plain give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you, answer any question that you might have. You can reach us at 800-262-7538. We wish you a successful trading day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Thank you.